Hello everyone, welcome to day 5 of Learn Python for Automation series. So in the previous session we learned about the condition statement. So we learned if, and else statements. So in this session we are going to learn about the loop. So as part of that I'll be covering for loop, while loop, break statement, continue statement, and we'll try to see one real-time testing example once we learn with this concepts. Okay, let us get started. So I'll just take you to the VS Code. So what is for loop? Okay, a loop is used to execute a block of code multiple times. Like whenever I wanted to repeatedly uh, print certain statements, so at that time I'll be using the for loop. Let's take example. I wanted to print 5 times this statement like hi, welcome to Nanoscaler. So at that time I can use the for loop. Okay, so let us see how exactly we can print this for loop. I'm going to just start with the for loop. So always when we wanted to use the for loop, commonly we'll be using the range. So when I say range, it is going to generate a sequence of numbers that we wanted to print in the console. Okay, let me take an example. So I have to always start with the for is a keyword which is used to represent the for loop, and then I have to take a variable. So I is a variable on which I am going to store the values that I wanted to repeatedly print. Okay, then I am going to the value which I am going to use, I'll be taking from the range. So right now I wanted to print 5 times, so I'll be taking a range here as 5. Okay, so with this I can print this statement. Now what is the statement that I wanted to print? So I can just print this hi, so welcome to Nanoscaler. Okay, so this is going to print a 5 times the statement which I wanted to print it. Okay, so I can just run this code as python loops.py. So now you can see as part of the for loop, it's printing the statements 5 times. So what if I wanted to print a range like from the beginning to certain values? So at that time, I can take the range when I'm defining the starting value and the end value that I wanted to print. So it is going to print one number before when I mention the end value. So I just, if I wanted to print up to 10, up to 11, so I have to mention it as a 10. So for this, let's assume I wanted to print the values from 1 to 10. So at that time, I can take a for loop for I in range. So here, as I wanted to print the values, let's assume I wanted to print till 5. So at that time I have to define the range as 6. So this is going to print the values from 1 to 5. So let us see here now, print I. Okay, so I can run it from here also. So let me run it. So now you can see it's printing 5 times hi, welcome to Nanoscaler, and then it has print 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, here I had specified the range as 5. Okay, this is how we can use the for loop. Okay, so if we wanted to talk about a real-time example where exactly I can use a for loop. So let's assume we are working on the automation testing. So we wanted to execute multiple test cases. At the time, instead of writing each time whatever the test cases that I wanted to execute, so we can include a for loop to repeat the test cases that I wanted to execute and how many times I wanted to repeat the test case running. Okay, so let's assume to write the same thing. Okay, I'm going to take an example. So automation, as part of the automation testing, so I wanted to execute the repetitive tasks, or I can say scripts, multiple times. So at that time I can define here. So for I have to define for, so here I wanted to run my test scripts. Okay, I can just store my value in the test scripts. So then I can take a range. So here I wanted to, each time I wanted to repeat 3 times. Okay, so I can define 1 to 4, because when I write 4 it is going to repeat 3 times, and then I just wanted to print this. Okay, so here I can just execute test script. Whatever the test script is there, it is going to execute this test script. Okay, so now when I try to run this program, you can see, you see it is executing. First time it is going to run the test script, then second time and third time. Okay, basically when in the real time we can make this script execution trigger by using the for loop. Okay, so in this way we can use for loop when we wanted to have multiple tasks I wanted to repeat continuously, then we'll be using this for loop. Okay, so let's see how exactly we can use the while loop. So as part of the while loop, so when I wanted to run a repetitive task, but it has to run till that particular condition will be true. After that condition, I wanted to stop the execution. Okay, based on the condition, if we wanted to run the or repeat the task, so at that time we can go with the while loop. So let's take an example. We wanted to print the values till the, I wanted to start the value addition from number 1, and then I wanted to repeat that particular printing till the value reaches the 7. Okay, so now I can take the initial value, count is equal to 1. So I wanted to start the value counting from 1, and I wanted to keep counting, and I wanted to count till the value reaches the 7. Okay, so now I can write a while loop here. So while condition, as part of that, until the condition is less than or equal to 7. Okay, because here condition we have to see by looking into our condition. If it is still less than 7, I have to remove this equal. If I wanted to print till 7, so at the time I can have the equal symbol as well. Okay, so now I can go ahead with this, and I wanted to print the count. So once I print the count, first iteration, what happens? The count value is 1. It is going to check the condition. Is 1 is less than or equal to 7? So here the condition will be true because it is less than 1 is less than 7 only. Okay. So then it is going to print the value as 1. Okay. And after that, if I'm not going to write anything, this loop is going to write or execute infinite time, because each time it's coming from the loop and it will be 1 only, it's less than 7, so it will be keep repeating. So my agenda is count the numbers. So for that reason I can just add here count plus or equal to 1. So how exactly it's been, if I wanted to make it in a simple format, I can just go here, count is equal to count plus 1. So now what is going to happen here? The count value each time is going to added by 1 with the previous count value. Okay, so now I have a previous count value as 1. We are going to add 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Okay, so we can see now it's going to print numbers till 7. Okay, let me just take the print statement here to start with the while loop. Okay, now let me run this program. So now you can see as part of the while loop, we are printing till number 7. Okay. So this is how, like when we wanted to use the while loop, so we will be not knowing defined number of times that loop has to be iterated. So this is completely the while loop iteration completely based on this condition that I am going to add. But when I say for loop, when I'll be using, we will be knowing the number of iteration that we wanted to repeat. Okay, this is a major difference between the for loop and while loop. Now, so as part of the for loop and while loop, so we'll be using break and continue statement as well. Okay, so we'll see when exactly we can use a break and when we can use a continuous statement. So let's take an example. I wanted to search a user IDs. So the user IDs range is from 1 to 20. Okay, in that only till the user id 6 I wanted to print, and after that I wanted to stop the next user id users to take into consideration. So at that time, what I can do is I can take the for loop. Okay, so I in range. So here I wanted to, I'll be having the total users from 1 to 20. In this, I want only the 6 members. Okay, so what I can do is, so here I can, before I write the print statement, I can write a condition. So if I value is equal to, I wanted to print the users, 6 users. Okay, first 6 users. So then I have to add a condition here 7. So why I have to add a condition here? See, till 6 it's going to print. Once it reaches the value 7, I wanted to break from this loop. Okay, means I wanted to stop the printing of other users IDs, right? So that's how it's going to work. Okay, now I can have a print statement. See here how it's going to work. At the in first, when the initially the I value will be 1, so it's going to check the condition is I is equal to 1, so that is false, so it will not get into this for loop. It will print the I value at the first as 1. So then again the I value increases to 2, so it is going to print the I value 2 because here this condition will be false, so this will be not executed. Okay, like this till the I value will be 7, so my user IDs will be printed. So once the I value reaches 7, so here we are going to check the condition. As this condition is true, so we'll get into this loop, then it's going to break this loop. Okay, means the complete execution or this loop iteration is exited and will come out of this loop. So at that time this particular, it's not going to print till the 20. Once it reaches this condition true, so it will stop the for loop iteration. Okay, this is how a break statement works. So in the same way we can use the continue statement also. So continue statement, what it will do is it will skip only the failed records which are present, like whatever the record that I'm specifying, only that record is going to skip the execution. Let's take an example. I wanted to, I have the user IDs 1 to 10. Okay, 10 users are there, so I just don't want to print the sixth user details. So at that time what I can do is I can take the same range. So when I say 1 to 10 means I can take the range from 1 to 11, right? So after this, see here I wanted to skip only the sixth user. Okay, so then I can, instead of break I have to use the continue statement. Okay, so after continue I just come out, I have to print the I value. Okay, so here what is going to happen is when I do continue, so first iteration the user will be, the I value will be 1, it's going to print. So in the same way, so till the condition is going to be true, it's going to print. When the value reaches 6, it's come into this loop, it will continue, means it's not going to print that value whatever 6 is present, so it will just exit only for that time this particular printing. Okay, means if you are printing this print statement before continue, then it will print and it will continue. Okay, means it will skip that next value which it is present. Okay, as we are writing after this continue, then it is going to print this, skip this printing because it will not execute all the other statements which are present after continue. It will come out from that particular loop after this condition is true. Okay, now it is going to skip the sixth print, then it is going to print 7, 8, 9 and 10. This is how the continuous statement is going to work. So let us try to run this program. Now we'll understand the difference. See, if you can see, let me write down the print statement to segregate it. Okay, so sorry. Okay, so now we'll try to We can even run from here also. See, now you can see in the break statement only till sixth number it has printed. Once it reaches 7, it completely exit from that loop. Okay, so when we use a continue statement, so here it's printing the numbers till 1 to 10, but it skipped the execution of number 6. Okay, this is a major difference between the break and continue. So when I use the break statement, so only that particular means it will stop completely the next execution. When I use continue, only that particular record print, it is going to skip it. Okay, so now based on these concepts what we had learned, we'll try to see one real time example. So here we'll see if I wanted to write a code to verify the user login attempts. So what is the requirement is, so every user will get a 3 login attempts. So within that 3 login, if the user provides the valid password, his login is successful. If not, login will be failed. Okay, we'll try to write a simple code for this particular scenario. So first thing, when we wanted to validate the user login, we have to have the valid password. So I can just write down here valid password is equal to, I'm going to write it's a nanoscaler. So this is the valid password. So now how many users will be getting? So users will be getting 3 attempts. So for that I can use the for loop. So as part of the for loop I can give, so user will be getting a 3 attempts, okay, in range, okay, wherein I can write, so as a 3 attempts he is going to get it. Okay, and user input I wanted to take it from the console. So for that what I can do is, so I can take it as a this is a variable to store the user password, and if I wanted to read any value from the console during the runtime, I can use the input keyword, and here whatever I wanted to display in the console I can try to enter this. So enter the password. So this is will be reflected in the console during the execution. So during the execution as a user we can provide the password. Now I need to verify the condition. So when the user enter the password, if user provided password, if it is same as the valid password we had stored, so at that time I wanted to allow user to log in. So I can say I can provide the success message to the user as login successful. Okay, after login successful I don't want to give any other new attempt for the user, so I wanted to break. Okay, so I can write a break here. So what if user provides the invalid password? Okay, this user provided password is not matching with nanoscale, so then I wanted to give another attempt to the user, so I can write a condition else. So here as part of the else I just wanted to give it as an invalid password, try again. Okay, so now user can provide the password another time. Okay, so in this way till 3 attempts user is allowed to provide the password. In these 3 attempts if user provided the valid password, the program allow user for the login successful, or else the login will not be allowed. Okay, so we'll see how this program is going to run. So see here, if you can see, as soon as I run this program I'm getting enter the password. So here I'm going to say the password as the first attempts only I'll try to give the valid password. Okay, let me take nano scale up. See, login is successful. I come out because as soon as I provide the valid password, this will be stored in this user password. So now my user provided password and valid password both are same. So it will get into this if loop. It's going to print this statement, and break means it will stop the complete for loop statement to here only. So we'll be not getting any other attempts. So we'll see another scenario where user going to provide the invalid password. So I'll just try to run it. So now you can see here we have to enter a password. I just say nano. See, invalid password, because whatever the user password and valid password is not matching. Here I provided and here stored. So it has provided another attempt. So I need to say again skill up. So again I should, because what is happening, this condition is not hold it doesn't hold good. So at that time I'm going to give invalid password. So here the loop is going to repeat again. So I'll just give it as nanos. Okay. See, again I had got invalid password. Okay, it doesn't allow user to log in. So this is a simple program to demonstrate how break statement is going to work along with the for loop. Okay, so in the same way you can also work on some of the assignments. I'll be just typing here. So you can just try to print even numbers. So print even numbers from 1 to 20. In the same way you can try for to print the odd numbers as well. So and one more assignment is you can create a login program. So with 3 attempts wherein we had already practiced that. So another one which you can try is you can try to print so multiplication table for 5. So here how the outcome should be, it's like my outcome should be so 5 into 1 is equal to 5. So in this way I wanted you to write a statement to print till 20, sorry, till 50. Okay, so this complete 5 table I want you to print by using the Python program. Okay, so let us summarize what and all we had learned. So we talked about the uh, loop statement as part of that for loop. So we'll be using this for loop when we know how many number of times that I wanted to repeat. So we'll be using this for loop. Commonly with the for loop I'll be using a range statement to print the sequence of numbers. So then we discussed about the while loop. While loop basically works on the condition. Based on that, if the condition is true, my while loop will be stopped. So if the condition is false, my while loop will be stopped from repeating if it is true, until that the loop will be keep repeating. Okay, and we learned about the break statement. So break statements, when we had written inside, if the condition is holds good, so immediately it will stop the loop execution. Okay, and in the similar way we can use a continuous statement. When we use a continuous statement, it will skip the current iteration and it will but it will continue the next iterations which we wanted to print it. Okay, that's the major difference between the for loop and the sorry break and the continuous statement. So to summarize, for loop, when we'll go when we try iterations are known, so we'll go for a for loop. While loop, when we wanted to repeat the loop based on the condition, so at that time we'll go for a while loop. So when I say break, it will stops the loop. When I say continue, it will skip the current iterations which it is present. So this is a quick revision of what we learned today. Thank you everyone.